Hello, hello, and welcome to Outta Curiosity with Mz.ChiGurl, and I'm your host, Mz.ChiGurl. Hey, y'all. I'm so sorry. It has been a while since I've gotten any content out to you guys. I'm just gonna admit that one, uh, I was tired from all the physical therapy that I was doing, and two, I have been busy down the internet wormhole with this Blueface Krishan Nevia drama. Yeah, I got sucked in. And so it's been hard for me to get the content for you because I watch it like 1 minute, I'll watch it, and the clock says 2 a.m. The next time I look at it, it says 5 a.m. So then I'm trying to make up for that sleep that I lost. Amongst all the other things that I have to do. I've been taking care of admin business for myself and my mother, and I'm sorry, but I'm here now, right? Okay. So I have a lot of things that I want to go through with you guys. I'm probably going to do maybe 2, 3 videos. I'm trying to figure it out. But the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I might talk about the Krishan Blueface Nevia thing. I don't know. I can think about that. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the content that I have set up for you guys. So for August was going to be a slow month anyway. Um, this month I only had like 2 things set up. The first thing was going on the Black Foodies food tour, which I already did on the first. And I wanted to do a video with Angelique because she and I went together. Unfortunately, Angelique and I, our schedules, we couldn't get it together. And so she gave me her ratings. I'm going to go through that. And then we're going to talk about my ratings. I'm going to show you some of the pictures I took. It was like I was trying to get pictures, but I was so busy eating that I didn't get a lot of pictures of some of the restaurants. But we'll make it do what it do. Also, the other thing I had planned for this month was I went back to Thrive Wellness to have my T-shaping and microneedling. So what do you guys think? I'm looking at my chin on camera now. It does look like it's kind of fading. I don't necessarily see it as much as I did before. I might have to do a before and after picture, but I do have one more session of microneedling coming up at the end of the month. And then the T shaping is going to take longer. So just to remind you what the T shaping is, it's supposed to make your skin firmer, tighter, and also get rid of some of the fat cells that are down here to get rid of my double chin. And so that requires more time. So it's funny, the last time I was there, I had a conversation with the team at Thrive Wellness, and I was telling them, I don't think it's working. I want to try something else. And they were like, no. Actually, I think what I told them I wanted to do was liquid lipo. So we had a discussion about the liquid lipo, the side effects, what I can expect as far as, what is it called? Rehabilitating, I guess you could say, from that procedure. Um, and Well, basically, after the conversation with them, I decided that liquid lipo maybe wasn't the best, and so I should stay the course, if you will, with the T shaping. But she told me I had to commit to back to back sessions. So what I've been doing is month to month, and we were doing month to month. She said because of the microneedling. So the microneedling needed to heal before I could have it again. But I only need 3 sessions of microneedling, whereas the T shaping required 6 sessions. So I've already completed 2 of both. I had 2 sessions of T shaping, I had 2 sessions of microneedling. I'm going to have my last microneedling session at the end of the month. And my third T-shaping session at the end of the month is going to be on the same day. Then after that, I have to have 3 more visits, and we're going to do it back to back of T-shaping so that I can actually see some difference, or hopefully I'll see a difference, and you guys can tell me what you think. So, that's my plan for this month. So instead of like, I did do court content, but I was like, it looks pretty much the same as the month before. So I said, no, I think I'll just do uh, um, all inclusive video at the end, as opposed to just showing you the same thing over and over again. So that's what's been going on with August content. I could have been talking to you guys though about movies and TVs because I definitely have been into that. I watched this movie called Primate. Um, I won't talk about it now. We'll probably talk about it when I do my TV show or weekend review video about all the stuff that's entertainment. Now, let's talk about September. Child, in September, I'm busy. So, I'm going to start September off with the Lobster Fest, y'all. Let me see. Do I have it handy? No, I think I'm going to have to go on Instagram for you guys to show you what Lobster Fest is. So Lobster Fest is going to take place, what is it called? Labor Day weekend. And then I'm doing it on a Saturday as well. And then on Sunday, I'm going to see Christopher Williams at City Winery. I'm a little scared about that one because I saw some stuff where they were like, Christopher Williams, he just sounds like an old man now. Here it is. Let me pull it up so I can show you guys. Share my screen. And we're going to Instagram. Okay, so here's Lobster Fest. So it says, come hungry, Chicago. The Lobster Fest menu lineup is here. From grilled lobster tails and loaded lobster fries to lobster rolls, tacos, barbecue, sweet treats, and tropical drinks. What are you trying first? It's going to be at Navy Pier, September 5th and 6th. Grab your tickets through the link in the bio. I'll put this in my description as well if you are interested in attending. So, what I signed up for is I'm going to get lobster tails, I'm going to get the lobster bisque, and I'm going to get the lobster rolls. Where is that? I don't know where it is. I think oh, here it is, New England lobster roll. What's funny is that I never had a lobster roll. When I went to freaking Martha's Vineyard, what was that, 14 years ago? They had them for $20. I think I'm paying $40 for these bees. And I could have had it for $20 and when I was in freaking Martha's Vineyard. But anyway, so this is what I'm going to be doing for September 5th. And then Christopher Williams, like I said, is the 6th, which is on a Sunday. It's at, I want to say at 5 o'clock. And I'm going with Angelique and another friend to see him. And so I'll give you a review of that. Then I don't have much except for my Thrive wellness activities, which I told you is going to consist of the T-shaping and probably doing a before and after so you guys can see if there really was a difference with everything that's going on with me. Last is towards the end of the month. I am going to see one of my favorite content creators. So I have a few that I check out. I check out Carlos King. He is the creator and executive producer for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective, Birmingham or Alabama, as well as he used to produce The Real Housewives of Atlanta, New Jersey. And so, he's done all the things. Oh, and he used to work on Love and Hip Hop in the beginning. But anyway, so through him, I then started following Dustin Ross, who I saw in the beginning of July. I told you he had a comedy show at the City Winery. Then I also follow a content creator called Blue Toulousema. She has stuff, but she does most of her stuff in LA. She hasn't branched out to go to other cities yet. And so the other person who I watch is Funky Dineva. And you guys know I went on the Funky Dineva trip last year to the DR. And I watch him. I used to watch Al Reynolds and Claudia Jordan on Fox Soul's TGIF. And then it eventually got canceled because he decided not to do it anymore. La da 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 da. Well, this is going to be his first time like going on tour like Dustin did, trying to do a comedy show. And so it's going to be at the City Winery. And basically, I live at the City Winery now. So it's on September 20th. Guess what else is on September 20th? Freaking Clink Fest. And I've had my tickets for Clink Fest, I've had those since last year, September. Like they went on sale the week after Clink Fest. And I purchased them then because you can get them for a cheaper price. Now you guys are gonna pay more because the tickets are still on sale. You're gonna pay more than I did. Although I saw their option, they're offering a VIP option, and I was trying to figure out, do I want to do VIP? And then I was like, no. One, I'm low on money. Two, I did a VIP option, not a VIP, a meet and greet option with Funky Dineva. And so I was like, I can't be just throwing out all the money, for all these things. So, long story short, that's what I'm doing in September. I will definitely have all the content for you then. Let's see, what else am I working on that I want to tell you guys about? I know what I forgot. I forgot to go over the Black Foodies tour with you, which was part of this video. So let me pull that up. All right. So first of all, I'm going to show you the printout that they gave us of the places we were going to, as well as the addresses and everything. So the first place that we didn't necessarily go to, they actually ordered the pizza and had it delivered to the bus, or they picked it up, one of the two. And so this place was called Dreams Pizza on the Nine. It's at 15743 Crawford Avenue in Markham, Illinois. And we had the chicken sausage pizza. Oh my God. This pizza was so freaking good. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Now, I told you I went on this tour with Angelique, who also did the financial advice video with us. So let's look and see what she gave it as far as a rating, because I think she wasn't as enthused. Yeah. So let's pull up her rating. She gave it 4 out of 8. I mean, 4.8 out of 5. So, yeah, we were pretty close as far as what we rated the items for this pizza. The next place is, so we drove from Markham, Illinois, and mind you, on August 1st, we had such bad rain. I actually sent them an email before the event, and I was like, is this going to be like baseball where you reschedule due to rain? And so He emailed me back once I was on the bus and said, "Ha ha ha, glad you made it." I was not playing. I was serious. I did not want to be getting on and off a bus while it was raining. But I did it because I paid my money. So anyway, the next thing we did is we drove from Markham, Illinois to Hyde Park, and we went to Don AM Eatery, which is at 1642 East 56th Street, Chicago, Illinois. The tasting included shrimp and grits and pot roast and grits for those who had a shellfish allergy. They had biscuits with strawberry, black pepper, butter gravy, espresso cappuccino, martini, and actually, so the shrimp and grits and the pot roast were good. The only thing I didn't know is that the grits were spicy. So if you look at their menu at the restaurant, I think it actually says jalapeno grits. Long story short, I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed the grits better than the pot roast and grits. I didn't try the espresso martini because I don't like coffee. The biscuits, though, that was the star of the show for me. 5 out of 5 on the biscuits. Shrimp and grits, I'll say 4.5. And yeah, that was all I had. Okay, let's see what Angelique gave it. Oh, look at that. Angelique and I said 4.5. Okay, so we did good. We're matching up so far. Let's go back to mine. Okay, so next, this isn't a place that we actually visited, but they passed it to us on the bus. And it was called Mills California Hoagie. It's at 813 Maple Avenue in Homewood, Illinois. Mind you, these are all black owned businesses, just so in case I didn't say it, this is they're all black owned. So I didn't eat my hoagie on the bus because I was trying to save, save it for later in case, I depending on what the other restaurants had. And so since this was something that was wrapped up, I said I'll just take it home. The tasting was the Margaret Turkey Hoagie with chips. I love the hoagie. It was so good to me. It reminded me of the old school hoagies or subs that I used to get from Mr. Submarine. I would give it a 4.7. Only reason why I'm giving it a 4.7 is because the turkey didn't look like actual sliced turkey meat. It looked like it was probably, I don't know if you call it processed, but whatever, like maybe Oscar Mayer or something like that, not like from the deli. That's why I'm giving this a low rating. But the taste itself was good. Let's see what Angelique gave it. Angelique gave it 4.0. So she didn't like it as much as I did. All right, now let's look at the next one. So, next one is this one we actually drove to, which was actually downtown, next to all the real big Rush Street restaurants. It was on Wells, and I don't remember what the cross street is, but it's 611 North Wales, and it's called the Wellesley Tavern. This is a new black owned business. What was interesting about it is that it kind of reminded you of, I don't know if there are people who remember Bennigan's. It reminds me of Bennigan's. And so it to me, it didn't seem like it would be a black restaurant. So I was really surprised. And then they told us how they have an event space that's downstairs, and they actually have an elevator to take you downstairs. I was tired. I ain't feel like getting up to go look at the space, but I heard the space was nice. And so, like, if you want to do parties or you have an event or something like that, you can contact the owners about renting out their space. So, according to this, the tasting menu was the chicken rasta pasta, the curry chicken with rice and peas, plantains, rum punch, and banana pudding. So I'm not sure what the difference was. I'm assuming the chicken I had was the chicken rasta pasta. It was a little bit on the dry side for me. Curry chicken with rice and peas. I didn't taste any chicken, but I tasted the rice and peas and it was good. The plantains, I will say they were different. I never had plantains that were soft on the inside and then crispy on the outside. The outside was almost like how they do a creme brulee, where it's caramelized and the inside was soft. And so it was good. And I saw a lot of people in our group actually getting it to go. What I did focus on was the rum punch. And so the rum punch was good, but it didn't have that kick. Y'all know I keep telling y'all I got a high tolerance. It was just like I was drinking some juice. The rum punch was okay, but the star in this tasting for me was the banana pudding. It was really good. I would give the banana pudding a 5. All the rest of it, I'm going to give 4 stars. So yeah, I'm gonna average it on. I'm doing it in my head, so I'm not actually doing an actual average. I'm gonna say it was a 4.3. Let's see what Angelique said. So Angelique said, "Oh hell," Angelique said 4.3 too. All right, now next restaurant. So we loaded up the bus and went again to another place. This one was on Taylor Street, which I did not know. And it's called Ricketts World Famous. It's at 1514 West Taylor Street in Chicago, Illinois. Um, the way they described it is that for those of you who are from the west side of Chicago, apparently there's Uncle Remus. And on the south side of Chicago, there's Harold's Chicken. Well, Ricketts is a part of the Uncle Remus family. So for our tasting, we had, it says a fried chicken wing and fish combo. There was no fish with our food. It was just all chicken. And we had fries with sauce. I was surprised. The chicken and the fries were both so good. They had them packed up for us, so we actually didn't get off the bus for it. And so I took it home and I shared it with my son, and we agreed that it was like Harold's. But actually, it might have been better. I hate to say it as a Southsider, but it might have been better. And mind you, we went on this tour on the first, and then what was it? The following weekend, I ordered a pan chicken wings. And I wanted to get, they had turkey tips, but they were out of turkey tips that day. So I wound up getting regular tips. Both of them were good. I am giving Ricketts, if it was just based on the chicken, I would have said 5 stars. But the chicken and the barbecue, I've had a little better. I'm gonna give them a 4.8. All right, let's see what Angelique gave them. Angelique gave them a 4.5. Okay. All right. So next, this was something that they gave us a gift bag. And so in our gift bag, we had what's called Popper and Razzie's Gourmet Popcorn. It's at 3220 West 103rd Street in Hazel Crest, Illinois. I was pleasantly surprised they had a Chicago mix in there for us. So I didn't try it on the bus, but I did try it when I got home. Oh my God. It definitely can rival Garrett's. And I wanted some more. But I'm sorry, it was too far out for me to go travel for it. But I've been fiending for some Garrett's now just because of that popcorn. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna get me some Garrett's or what I'm gonna do. But yes, I'm gonna give Popper's Gourmet Popcorn a 5 out of 5. Let's see what Angelique gave him. Oh, Angelique, I guess, didn't like it. She gave it a 4.2. Now, see, this is why I wish she was on the show so she can explain to me what was wrong with her popcorn because mine was wrong. All right. And then the last one on our tour was they gave this to us at the end before we got off the bus. It was a cake from Pollyann Cakes, or Cake Slice rather. Pollyann Cakes by Pauletta at Soho Shops at 16114 South Park Avenue in South Highland, Illinois. And then it has a website, and I'll put that in the description. And so it says they were giving us ooey gooey bars. I don't know what happened, but they gave me ooey gooey lemon, and I don't do lemon treats. I drink lemonade. I have lemon in my drink. I don't like lemon candy, lemon nothing. So I gave my lemon bar to Angelique. So I can't rate it. Let's see what Angelique said. Angelique gave it a 4.5. I wish she was here so that she could tell you why she gave it what she did. And so that was my review of the Black Foodies tour. I had a good time. It was a lot of ladies and couples on there, mostly ladies. It was funny. The section I was sitting in, it was filled with Zetas, and so I guess a lot of sororities may attend these functions as well. It's a great thing or a good time for a girls' day out if you want to go testing or tasting food tasting with your friends and or family. They also drove by the Obama Library and people took pictures. Then they also drove by Obama's house that's in Hyde Park and took pictures there. Oh, we also went by the Shed Aquarium and people took pictures by the lake. So it was a nice time. It was from 11 to 4, I want to say. Yeah, 11 to 4. I don't know if it was because, like I said, my health issues and everything. But I didn't have my cane. Like I told you, I'm off the cane. But I got tired. And so, like around 2:33, I was ready for the bed. But otherwise, it was a good time. And they played music, the Black Foodies. They played their playlist. Like they did a verses, and they did Usher versus R. Kelly. I'm sorry, I still can't get over R. Kelly after the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. It's hard for me to listen to his music. Then they changed it to people or artists who are from Chicago. I enjoyed that better. They did a few trivia games and they gave out a few bottles of wine. One of those times I think I won, but he was like, no arguing, and that whoever's hand he sees first is who he's giving it to. So I think I got gypped one time, but other than that, I had a good time. What's funny is that they released new dates for the fall, and those bad boys sold out like hotcakes. My friend Angelique wanted to take her family, and she was on there, and she had issues just like I did when I tried to do it before. So, um, if you're able to, you might want to have multiple family members trying to get on the website when they release their dates because they go quickly, and it is a good time. So that is my review of the Taste and Tour of Chicago with the Black Foodies from August 1st.
you.
That's all I can think about. I know I have things coming up in October. In October, the things that I'm doing are necessarily for entertainment purposes. I was invited by one of my friends to something called Rest, Renew, and Reflect. And it's through her church's ministries. And so, just so you guys know, I don't know if I talked about this. I don't think I did. It was funny when she first came to me. I was like, "Is it gonna be real religious? And do I have to do this and do I have to do that?" And I was like, "Girl," I said, "No offense." I said, "I believe in, God. He's my Lord and Savior, and died on the cross for my sins." But I was like, "I'm church hurt." And so I'm going to explain church hurt in a minute. And so she was like, "I get it." And so we had a conversation about it. And she was telling me that this is how she kind of found the church home that she has now. That, well, I don't want to speak on because I can't remember her exact words and I don't want to misquote her. But she basically was saying that she moved away from the traditional church because of the things that she went through. And I told her, yeah, it was very difficult for me because my grandparents were very religious. And then my mother became religious like a year before my son was born. And I had to deal with all the stuff from that. Long story short, it was like when I went to college, there were so many rules and restrictions that I put on myself because of how I was raised that I was living just like I was at home my first semester away from school. Um, because I don't know, I was just regimented that way. And like people would be like, "Are you okay?" Like I remember the RA actually came to me to check on me to make sure I was okay. Because I just stayed in my room and went to classes. Stayed in my room and went to class. I didn't do participate with nothing. I didn't do nothing. And at one point, I did wind up having a breakdown, and my mother called the school and set up a session for me to talk to a counselor. And when I went to this counselor to talk about all the things that I was dealing with, because by that time I had met my son's father, and this was my first real relationship, and all the stuff that was going on with that, I never had to deal with, and so it was really impacting me mentally. Then I had a new group of friends and kind of working my way through the minutia of how people act. Like I remember one time, somebody we were playing cards and somebody cheated, and I was like, we were trying to debate who won the game or whatever, and I was like, fine, we'll redo it, we'll replay. And I was like, justice will prevail because, we were right or whatever, something like that. And then we wound up losing. And I was so pissed because I was like, they cheated. And I just knew we were going to win because that's what was supposed to happen because we did right. And it didn't happen. But fast forward to the therapist that I wound up talking to, she, we had a conversation. I told her about everything that was going on, and she basically told me, "You have a lot of rules for yourself." And she was like, You can't survive life. No wonder you're having the issues you're having." Long story short, she told me that everything was okay in moderation. And I swear to God, I felt a weight lifted off of me. And I was finally able to enjoy my life. And I think that was part of why college was the best time of my life, because I was living life and doing things and making decisions that were mine, and having fun, and just enjoying life for the first time without all the restrictions. And maybe I did do stuff in excess. I'm not gonna lie, I was a drinker in college, yes. But I didn't get white girl wasted, but yes, I was a drinker. And you guys hear me talking about the liquor nowadays. But anyway, um, it's just because I have a high tolerance. But back to the story. Yeah. So I'm a little church hurt. And so sometimes I just don't want to go backwards. And so I consider myself an open person. I'm open to trying things. And so, like I said, after I talked to my friend and I thought about it, I said I think this trip would be a nice thing. And so that's what I have planned for October. Then this is funny. So the department that I worked in at my previous job. So the last job I had wasn't with the department, but I still worked with that department and still friends with, a lot of people from that department. I worked in that department for 20 years. I'm sorry, 12 years. And I want to say the department was around for 20 years before they finally laid everybody off. Um, some people, because we worked together for so long, wanted a reunion. Um, so we're having a our department reunion in October. And it's the same weekend as this retreat. What's funny is that both things are in the suburbs. And so I had to Google like how far one suburb was from the other suburb. So it shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to try and do both things. But I'm just going to say that I hate doing things back to back, only because I get tired, especially until I get my endurance back up. So also, I want to give you guys an update that I am doing so well as far as my physical therapy. Some of you guys, I don't know if you know that. So I had two surgeries. And so after the first surgery, I needed to walk with a cane. After the second surgery, I had to use a walker and a cane. Since I have been doing physical therapy, and this means ever since my birthday weekend, I haven't had to use a cane, y'all. I am so happy. And I've told a few people this. I said, when I was having the issues with my back and everything, so I'm in my early 50s. I felt like I'm 67 years old. I now feel like I'm in my 40s, but I still have some work to do, because I had 3 years of not being able to walk straight, walk at all, just all types of things. And so I wasn't getting the physical activity that I needed, or just normal activity. And now I have that activity, or that energy rather. And so I'm not going to say that, like I said, I think when we were talking about like how I felt, and I said after surgery, I think I was at 70%. Now I think I'm at 85%. So I still have a ways to go. I need to work on my endurance. And so at physical therapy, I go to ATI physical therapy. Those are all over the city. Man, I feel like it's a boot camp. They work my butt off. But we're working on my core, building my core and my muscles. Like, I even bought ankle weights to help me with my endurance as far as standing and walking long periods of time. So I'm getting there. So that's my update for you guys. Look out for my next few videos, because I'm going to be talking to you about a follow up on advocating for yourself medically, And then I'm going to talk about the latest on TV and movies and so forth. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.